Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Good evening to all of you in YouTubeLand, and happy holidays and happy new year to you too. So I have the honor and pleasure of doing my videos tonight next to my beautiful, gorgeous Yule tree. And of course Drake is going to do some panning up and down and look at the citrine star at the top. And this is my first six-footer tree in more than 4 decades. I am so happy. It's been a bit of an adjustment because, you know, I've lived in this apartment since September 2005, if I remember correctly. And this is the first time that I've had a 6-footer in this apartment. So there have been a lot of things that have needed to be rearranged, put up, put down, etc., etc., etc. The garlanding game I'm still working on, but I'm very happy that I have many different garland options this year. So anyway, right now the time is approximately 5:23 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Monday, December 26th, 2022. Now, tonight is the last night of Hanukkah. Tonight is the first day of Kwanzaa, and of course, to my friends across the pond and up north in Canada, happy Boxing Day to you and yours. So this is a late video, and I fully acknowledge that it is a late video, but I still wanted to do the monthly overview for the Many Moons 2022 Lunar Planner. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the gorgeous, infinitely beautiful cover. And this will be the last time you see it, because after this, you won't see it anymore. And of course, the back of the cover design with the beautiful Vesica Pisces of the new moon and the full moon in pink. And I must tell you, even though I do love the cover image for the 2023 edition, this one remains my favorite. I'm so enamored by this. Anyway, so here is the December 2022 monthly overview. There's an expansive quality to a month that often feels contracted and hurried. The Gregorian calendar is but one way of marking time. There are also rituals, milestones, and small moments of insight where reality opens up a bit. A cracked egg with light beaming through the ruptures. December's new moon, which was on Friday, December 23rd, 2022, initiates a lunar cycle with reach into 2023, which, by the way, is a chariot card year, and I still do not know what 2023 is the year of. I usually receive this information from the Great Goddess in November. So if I receive it by the time this video is uploaded, I'll let you know what it is. An opportune time to cast a spell that will have legs into the next year, into another time. The theme for December is practice. Practice finding closure. Practice integration. Practice all you've been learning and reading about. Practice floating. Practice simply being. When was the last time you let yourself live without judgment, goals, or the constriction of certain expectations? Air out your soul and spirit. Give yourself time to process the events and shifts of this year. And what a year it was. The prompts each week will help you reflect on 2022. I believe she's referring to the prompts in this calendar. Before beginning this month, look back over the spells you wrote between these pages. What came true? What are you still working on? So for those of you who do not have a copy of the Many Moons 2022 Lunar Planner, I'm going to suggest for you in the meantime, look at the rituals, the spells, the goals, the intentions, the reflections, the insights, and also if you do adhere to New Year's goals, see which New Year's, what are they called? Resolutions. It's been so long I forgot what they're called. If you do New Year's resolutions, see which ones came to fruition, see which ones fell flat, and see which ones were easy as well as which ones were struggles. For the December Tarot spread, sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/The Moon Studio. Now, for those of you who do not want to do a Patreon with her, that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would recommend signing up for her Moonbeaming newsletter, because her Moonbeaming newsletter does often include spreads. And I do want to remind all of you that the Many Moons Lunar Planners are only shipped to the United States and Canada. So for those of you who do not live in the United States or in Canada, sorry. I really don't have any insights to add because I'm not receiving any insights about this. I do feel that the only thing that I'm going to add is if there are any spiritual or magical practices that you have not been practicing or that you've allowed to kind of go by the wayside, this is a good time to resume those practices. One of my favorite YouTube channels, as I've said in several of my videos, is Lisa Loves Lenormand. And it's the YouTube channel of Lisa Loves Lenormand. And I actually need to upload my video about her second book, which is about the method of distance. But in virtually all of her videos, she closes it by saying, now go play with your cards. So I've been reminded to spend time with all of the card decks that I use. And recently, that's another topic for another video for another time. Anyway, so remember to engage in the practices that sustain you, that nourish you, that nurture you. And I'm going to add a practice that I was recently reminded about. And it was a practice that, if memory serves, I read in the annual overview of the Many Moons 2021 Lunar Planner. And Sarah Faith Gottesdiener, or Gottes on Instagram, wrote about, she suggested this practice which really works so well for me, and I invite you to utilize it as a way of helping you, especially helping you heal. And what she suggested was asking oneself how one feels. So let's say, for example, I do this. I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling frustrated. So I ask myself first, so the first part is ask yourself how you feel. And then the second part is ask yourself how you want to feel. So let's say, for the sake of argument, I ask myself how I feel, and I say that I feel frustrated, anxious, stressed the hell out. And then I ask myself, how do I want to feel? Happy, peaceful, complete, lacking nothing. And I will tell you, I don't know what it is. For right now, I'm going to call it magic. That's what works. It is a beautiful practice that I learned from Sarah Faith Gottesdiener's writings, and it continues to serve me well. And yes, I will admit that sometimes I get very caught up in a negative emotion, and then it's like, I'm throwing something against the floor, or the wall, or the door, or I'm screaming like a loon, or whatever. But then it's like, okay, I'm going to calm the fuck down right now. And there you go. So to all of you in YouTube land, thank you so much for honoring who I am. Oh, actually, once again, I want to thank yet again the Sarah Faith Gottesdiener, Goddess, on Instagram for her lovely writings, for all of her offerings, for her amazing insights, and for being an inspiration to me. I haven't talked about her being an inspiration for me that much, and I'm a little surprised that I haven't mentioned it even once, but you know, there are certain tweets that Sarah Faith Gottesdiener has tweeted that inspire me, that resonate with me very profoundly and very deeply. And she's written about how she began following her intuition, and she has been self-employed and employing a certain number of employees who she pays very well, who receive benefits for more than 10 years. Just by following her intuition and adhering to the guidance and the leading of her intuition, she has remained successful in spite of a pandemic, in spite of Amazon.com, in spite of anything and everything else. And there is actually a suggestion that she made in one of her tweets that I'm going to begin offering next year. And now that I have not only my copy of the Many Moons 2023 Lunar Planner, but also the 2023 Llewellyn's Daily Planetary Guide, I am absolutely going to begin updating my calendar planner to include different events, different things, different other things. There are certain things that I always put in my calendar planner as soon as I receive one. One of them is, of course, my birthday. The other one is Drake's birthday. And then, of course, the birthday of the Michelle Swan Graham, whose YouTube channel is Swan of Dreamers. And she recently uploaded and published a wonderful video with some great tips on how to read with oracle cards. I will link that in the description box because it was such a really cool video. I also have the honor and pleasure of having a traditional Cuban Christmas Eve feast with the priestess of Grove Argentum. Grove Argentum is a Manhattan, New York City-based chapter of the International Fellowship of the Goddess Isis. And let me tell you, it is a very coveted invitation. And I have kept my good standing with the priestess, so I have the honor and pleasure of enjoying this traditional Cuban feast of food. But anyway, that's definitely another video for another topic for another day. So thank you again to Sarah Faith Gottesdiener for her intuition, for her writings, for her offerings, and for being an inspiration to so many, myself included. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTubeLand for not only honoring who I am and what I do, but for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you so much for all the likes, because they help out my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for all the comments, because they also help out my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, thank you to all of you who have been scheduling your sessions. I completely lost track of how many private readings I did in December 2022, and I am going to resume availability as of tomorrow, which is Tuesday, December 27th, 2022, although I am already pretty booked up tomorrow. So as of right now, I will not be available again until Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. And then after that, I'll be available until Friday, I think. I'll have to check my calendar planner, but then, you know, I'll start going into January 2023, and we'll take it from there. Anyway, I wish all of you the happiest and the holiest of holidays, and to you and yours, a prosperous and peaceful 2023. Thank you, have a good night, and stay tuned for the next video.